Ladies and gentlemen, federal workers and injured federal workers, Riverdale Wellness proudly presents to you the Injured Federal Workers Podcast. Good afternoon, everybody, and how are we today? It's the Injured Federal Workers Podcast, come to you live from the Riverdale Wellness Studios in Bronx, New York City. So, everyone, we're on to the next episode. In this episode, I wanted to talk to you about denied cases, decision letters, and whatnot. Okay? We're talking about denied cases, and someone goes for to refute the denied case, as we heard from Mr. Stephen Larkin. Okay? And they go before a hearing officer. The hearing officer has all the information. Unfortunately, the doctors don't have all the information that the patients say to them or give to them. As I've said many times, bring all your paperwork, bring all your documents to the doctor. So at this point, I'd like to share with you a decision letter to highlight for you the purpose of sharing as much information as you can with the doctor, okay, so that everything goes smoothly and you have no problems. Here we go. This was a decision of the hearing representative, the hearing officer, on January 8th, 2019. Here we go. On May 21st, the patient filed a claim for traumatic injury. She states on 3/28, which was 2 months earlier, she was placing a post-con container inside a post-con which had registry parcels inside, which can weigh up to 140 pounds full. She was constantly bending and twisting to do this when she felt a pull in her lower back. She identified the nature of the injury as lower right side of her back. Okay, that's her statement. My guess is it was her statement on the CA1. She filed a traumatic injury claim. Okay, so let's now jump ahead. What did we just say? That she was constantly bending and twisting when she felt a pull in her back. Now let's go to the first doctor that she saw. She saw a doctor on June 2nd. So let's review. She got injured in March, filed her paperwork in May, then went to a doctor in June. Okay. She states that she was seen for low back pain. A history of injury was provided that she was picking up containers of registered mail to place onto a postcon. Okay, that's what she told the first doctor on June 2nd. She was next sent to another doctor on June 12th, and she wrote that she has a history injury and noted left leg complaints. He offered a diagnosis of lumbar strain and possible herniation and possible left radiculopathy. Okay, that's part of her timeline. Okay. In September, a decision was made that they sent her, in a decision dated September 4th, the office denied the claim for the reason that the evidence was insufficient to establish the factual components of fact of injury. We have already spoken to how there are two components to fact of injury. One is medical and one is factual. The reason for the finding is that she failed to respond to the request for additional factual and medical evidence. Tick tock, tick tock. So let's review. She got injured in March, filed her paperwork in May, went in June to two doctors. By September, they denied her case because of fact of injury. She didn't answer the questionnaire. Now, let's read what she told the two doctors. She was picking up containers. And then she has picking up containers. And over here, it says that she has left leg complaints. On her CA1, what does she say? That she was constantly bending and twisting. So there seems to be different mechanisms of injury. So they're questioning her and asking for a new fact of injury questionnaire because of all the paperwork. After her denial, she goes and gets another medical doctor. On November 19th, she was seen by Dr. Whatever. A history was reported that on March 28th, she was putting reds and blues weighing approximately 130 pounds from a skid on a postcon and felt a pull in her back that radiated down her right side. As they're writing here, this is not consistent with the left leg symptoms reported by the doctor. So now her history is inaccurate. Here she's saying it's the left side. This doctor says it's the right side. She said earlier it's the right side. Well, which one is it? Okay. She then, because the case was denied, she would then went for a hearing. The claimant disagreed with the decision and requested a hearing by the OWCP representative. It was a telephone hearing held on January 8th, after the November date of seeing the original doctor. The claim was represented by so-and-so for the hearing. The claimant verbally responded to the questionnaire and explained how the injury occurred. She clarified that she was pushing the postcon rather than lifting. So, this was not saying pushing. There was no pushing in here, right? Because what is she doing? Bending and twisting to this when she felt a pull in her back. That was her first words. She tells one other doctor that she was picking. She tells a second doctor that the history of the injury, but it's on the left side. She tells another person that she's putting reds and blues in and felt a pull in her back. So the history is very inconsistent. From day one through the end, what did we learn from this, everyone? This should be a great learning experience. What are we learning from this? We are learning that the facts of the injury constantly changed. We are learning that what she told the hearing officer was very different than 3 different doctors' opinions, as well as what she said on that, what she wrote on the CA1. So yes, you can go for a hearing. Your case can get accepted. You can go for a hearing, and you're seeing the decision of the hearing. But if your facts of the injury are constantly changing, please don't go to doctor's offices and make the doctor look bad that they're writing a report when you can't tell one doctor the honest report of what happened, and you're constantly changing your story. Okay? So that's one thing that we can learn from this episode. Okay? This episode is telling a consistent story all the time because it actually occurred. When the facts change because you wrote originally or someone else wrote it in May, right? It really doesn't matter. You didn't file timely, right? We spoke about fact of injury, timely filing. Are you a federal employee who got hurt on the job during the performance of duties, right? With the facts of the injury being consistent. Here is a clear demonstration of the facts of the injury being very inconsistent, that she did not file timely, which creates a red flag, which affects other coworkers of yours when you get hurt. Okay? I hope this little example of what is said, what is written, and it isn't buying a narrative from a doctor and paying them money. The narrative is a consequence of being under the care of a medical physician. If you have to buy a narrative, that's not a good sign. Okay? So I hope this little lesson taught everyone something, and we'll be right back after these words.
Are you suffering because you got hurt on the job? Are you struggling to find a doctor who knows how to navigate DOL and OWCP paperwork? In order to get your case to get accepted, you need a narrative from your medical doctor. When you see the doctor and they're writing a narrative report for you, the narrative report will include 1. Did you file timely? 2. Are you a federal employee? 3. What are the facts of the injury? 4. Did it happen during the performance of duties? And the last one, which is so important and crucial to your case getting accepted, it says establish. 5. Causal relationship, which means the medical evidence establishes that the diagnosed condition is causally related to the injury or event that occurred specifically to you. Please call to see if we can help you with the medical paperwork and recover from those injuries, as we have 2 decades worth of experience, and check out our Google reviews.
Paul's Weekly Joke.
So what's smarter than a talking parrot?
I don't know. What's smarter than a talking parrot?
A spelling bee.
When is a reasonable time to expect your paperwork to be completed by your medical doctor? What responsibilities do you take in your paperwork? On the 2nd or 3rd visit with your federal workers' compensation doctor, your certified OWCP doctor will review your findings with you. That is X-rays, MRIs, and other diagnostics tests. The doctor will then write your medical narrative. When you see the doctor and they're writing a narrative report for you, the narrative report will include 1. Did you file timely? So the quicker you get your tests done and give the doctor your case number, the quicker you'll get accepted. 2. Are you a federal employee? 3. What are the facts of the injury? 4. Did it happen during the performance of duties? And the last one, which is so important and crucial to your case getting accepted, it says establish causal relationship, which means the medical evidence establishes that the diagnosed condition is causally related to the injury or event that occurred specifically to you. The narrative will then be written and must be proved by you, the patient. Why? So that you review your medical history that you gave the medical doctor, and you review the doctor's diagnosis, and remember, it's your medical record. And then you send it up as well to the DOL through ecomp.dol.gov. Please call 718-601-1540 to see if we can help you with your medical paperwork and recover from those injuries, as we have 2 decades worth of experience, and check out our Google reviews.
We will end today's episode with do all the good you can, by all the means you can, in all the ways you can, in all the places you can, at all the times you can, to all the people you can, as long as ever you can, by John Wesley. Everyone have a wonderful weekend. Best health and love. Show it to everyone. Have a great weekend.